Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're taking another look at construction progress on the Broadway subway project in Vancouver, Canada. For those of you new to this project, it's a 5.7 kilometer extension of Skytrain's existing Millennium Line with 6 new stations. At a projected cost of 2.8 billion Canadian dollars, major construction started in May of 2021 with an estimated completion date of early 2026. Everything you'll be seeing today was filmed in September of 2023. Starting our viewing journey today at the eastern end of the project, the 700-meter elevated section has now been connected to the existing line. The last 30 meters of the Millennium Line has been closed off to allow for a safe working area. Since last time, the remaining precast filler pieces have been installed, allowing crews to move ahead with the next phases of construction, the deck. The deck is the last major component of the guideway structure. Several sections of the deck have already been poured, with crews laying rebar for others. You can now see a clear outline of where the switches and storage track will be. From the ground, we can see temporary metal bracing fastened to the supporting beams that will support the formwork for the deck. Just off to the side in the works yard, hundreds of tunnel ring segments are in storage, awaiting to be installed. With the works yard filling up, excess segments are being stored under the guideway as well. At the west end of the elevated section, the abutment for the portal from above to below ground is now mostly complete. You can clearly see the isolation pads that the support beams sit on as part of the seismic protection. Columns that were sunk into the ground to be the supporting bases for the underground portion of the portal are now in place. We can see rebar ends sticking out that will form the eventual center and outer walls of the structure. This brings us to the short cut and cover sections from the portal to the station box for Great Northern Way Emily Carr Station. With the first roof sections done, crews are working on the walls and forms for the next part. At Great Northern Way Station proper, since last time, the station entrance has been fully dug out. Orange waterproof membrane is being laid out before the floor and walls will start to take shape. When complete, this station entrance will have an integrated secure bike storage facility. Great Northern Way Station by far has the best viewing experience for passers-by. While the plexiglass windows get dirty from time to time, it still provides a great place to watch the construction. Forms for the concourse floor over top the platform are being installed. That's the plywood on the east side of the station. The thick station box walls have come along nicely. Most of the east side wall is complete, with just a couple sections left to build. The west side wall has had a few sections completed. We can see forms in place for some, while others are still having rebar installed. Even though both TBMs are currently boring in between stations, there was still no mucking action to be seen while we were filming. One of these days, hopefully, we'll catch a glimpse of the action. Over at Mount Pleasant Station, the most visible change is to the station entrance area. The bottom, or basement level, has been completed. The forms for the next floor are now in place. You can see how construction is split down the middle. The right side has openings where the elevators and escalators will eventually be installed, whereas the left side is for mechanical and ventilation purposes. Taking a moment to look at the drawings for the station, you can see where the ventilation system goes in on both ends of the station, as well as the hallway to the emergency exit on the east end. And on the concourse level, the other ventilation areas as well as many other smaller rooms for future use. Back in the real world, we can see more of those walls on the platform level starting to take shape. At the same time, the station box walls for the lowest level are almost complete on the south side, while the forms and rebar for the north side are being placed. And here's a look at the emergency exit on the east end, now with a concrete floor. Progress at Broadway City Hall can be broken down into 3 sections. First off, it's the most recent launch point for both tunnel boring machines. Phyllis has overtaken Elsie and left the station box first on August 3rd, whereas Elsie left on September 8th. You can still see the leftover ring segments used to shuttle Phyllis through the station box. The next tunnel sections between Broadway City Hall and Oak VGH mark the halfway point for the tunneling operation. Time-wise, both TBMs are still on track to reach Arbutus before the end of 2023. Secondly, station box main excavation has now been completed. With the floor in place, walls are now climbing both sides of the box. And finally, interconnections between the Millennium Line and Canada Line have made a breakthrough. On the east side of the existing station entrance, a knockout panel has been removed that will give passengers direct access from the main entrance to the Millennium Line platforms. You'll use this path if you're entering from street level headed directly to the Millennium Line. On the west side of Cambie, excavation is complete for the interconnection between the southbound Canada Line platform and the Millennium Line concourse level. A base layer of concrete has been poured. You can see the slope where the stairs and escalators will eventually be installed. It can be a little challenging to picture how this will all look when done, but this drawing shows us how the southbound platform connections will be. There's a passageway under construction that runs east-west under the Canada Line that will give access to the Millennium Concourse level. At Oak VGH, main excavation is also complete. The future station entrance is about to start being built up. Meanwhile, the station box floor is complete on the east end, with the final section on the west end having rebar laid out for a future pour. Tarps are covering a recently completed section while it cures. The channels where TBMs will shuttle through are also visible. While great for keeping people and property safe, there's a lot more construction mesh that's been installed recently, making it a challenge to get a good look at the works below. Just across Laurel Street from the future entrance, the old parking and suites is another step closer to coming down. The interior of the main building has been removed. You can see straight through it now. High above the future South Grandville station, the 39-story tower directly integrated into the station entrance is nearing its final height. It truly is a shining example of what future stations across the region could become. As for the station box, with main excavation complete, the floor is coming along quickly, with TBM scheduled to pass through here in just a couple of months. And finally, at Arbutus Station, main excavation is still underway at the east end of the site. Crews are still working on relocating utilities as they dig down. While the station entrance area is fully dug out. As with some of the other stations, it can be tricky at times to get a good look at things. Thankfully, there are often holes in fences every now and then. According to the most recent official update, both TBMs will still be arriving here at Cypress Street by the end of 2023. A lot of work must happen between now and then, but progress looks good so far. And that concludes our look at construction on the Broadway subway project for late summer 2023. If you've enjoyed this content, I highly recommend taking a moment to check out the Broadway subway project's official Flickr album. It's updated regularly and has incredible shots from inside the project, the type of view that I would love to get, but would get arrested if I tried. There's a link in the description for that. Also, I do have a couple more videos for real this time coming out over the next couple of months. One is a first look at the Surrey-Langley Skytrain project, and the other is an update about the new operations and maintenance yard in Coquitlam that has started major construction. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.